differences. And so with us, we have one of my best friends, Katie, and her daughter, Allie, and then Allie's best friend, Kaylee. And so they are Generation Z, and then the three of us are Gen Xers. And so we're going to be talking about differences in generations and life and all the things.
Right. So let's get started and ask some questions.
Okay.
I'm excited to learn.
So how do you guys meet somebody that you might want to date?
Probably like on social media, like Instagram, Snapchat, like just through like mutual friends and things like that.
Okay.
I would say the same thing. Yeah.
How do you like add them? Like, okay, I don't have Snapchat.
Right.
I'm too old for that, so like I don't even know how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're kind of just like on like your quick ad, like through mutual friends and things like that.
It's just like a list of people, and you can just add
Strangers?
Strangers.
What?
You just
Stranger danger?
So like, if you have a list of quick ads, are they definitely already connected to one of your other people?
It will say
What?
like you may have mutual friends.
But it's also you're just looking at an emoji. It's not their
So you
faces,
don't
no
know.
picture. No. You just have to add them, take a picture, like snap them, see what they look like, and see if you want to talk or not.
So it's kind of like a little bit of a dating
App in
App,
a way,
sort
kind
of.
of.
What? I don't know.
Wait,
I just
how
want
do
to
you
know funny filters.
How do
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
if you're snapping somebody who's like your age or
Yeah,
if
you
you're snapping
don't.
like
You
an
don't.
old
You
man?
don't.
Oh.
I mean, you kinda just,
this
like-
is dangerous.
I mean, like on Snap, like it's hard to like,
I've never ran into an old man before.
but
Oh.
also like you can't,
You guys
like,
all
a
don't
person
use
can't
that.
snap you.
They
like,
do.
But
they would
they
have to
do.
show their face, like on a Snap. Like if they're
Like
snapping
you're
you.
taking a picture of yourself and just sending it to this random stranger hoping the best.
But that's why like
This is
the whole
concerning.
catfishing thing is a deal
Right.
because they might send a
Yeah.
picture that's not really them.
Right.
Yeah.
But like in our generation, I feel like with the whole catfishing thing, is I've definitely like taken a screenshot and uploaded it to Google, and like pictures
Oh,
if it's
really?
catfish, like they'll come.
Like if they got it off
Ah.
Pinterest,
Like, it'll
and
come
things
up.
like that.
I feel like they need to help us with our dating life.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start sending them pictures and say, hey, can you look this one up?
Yes.
Like, you guys can send me their date of birth, their when
Oh,
they were
social
born,
media.
and where they were born, and I'll chart them to determine if they're good for you.
Right.
And I'll send you guys pictures, and you guys can Google.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Perfect.
And so, what do you look for in a potential partner?
I mean, like personality-wise, like someone who's goal-driven, someone who like knows what they want in life. Like they might have ideas. Like they might not know exactly what they want to do in life, but they have like ideas, and they can like they still have a future for them. You know.
Okay. So, like, ambition is
Yeah.
important.
I agree with
Yeah.
that because I feel like a lot of people in this generation are very, like they're not driven by anything. So I feel like it's hard to find people who are, but once you do, it's like a good.
And one thing I hear Allie talk about a lot is a sense of humor.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
it's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
thing.
When you're just talking with someone on Snapchat or whatever you're doing, like you have to have a connection, and a sense of humor is important.
Right.
And it has to be my same sense of humor.
Because I feel like we have a very unique sense of
Like
humor.
just kind of like a sarcastic, dry, like. But people that have like a different sense of humor, I don't really like click with as much. So that's definitely a big thing.
Okay. And, like, what is the end goal?
For me, it's probably like, you know, like having a family. I want kids. I want like someone that is like my life partner and not just like a husband and wife, but like a best friend, you know? And obviously, I mean, having money. Being financially stable, yeah, and just
Cheers.
being able to
Yeah,
have
no
like
doubt.
what I want, and also be in like a job that like I really love too. And like because I see like so many people, especially like a lot of like people, like the older people and stuff, like don't like their job, and like you see that and you're like I don't want to live like that. Like I don't want to live like I just hate my
Right.
job and I have to go every day for money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaylee?
I would definitely say being like super rich for sure.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, love it.
like crazy rich.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Having a job that I like. I mean, obviously you're not gonna like a job, but like
Hey,
No,
if
you
you
can.
if you do something
can,
you love,
Yeah.
you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't work.
Yeah.
I don't work. I just love
I
it.
feel like I do.
Yeah.
but just having a family, probably not kids though, but
Oh, not kids?
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really like kids.
Oh, well, you didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I would, when I was your age, I was the same. So kind of going off of that, what she was saying
Uh-huh.
with the career, like what are you focused on in your life goals? Like career, you do want to get married. You do want to get married also?
Yes.
No kids for you, kids for you? Okay. I think when I was 16, I was very much no kids. I don't think I want kids or anything like that. That changed.
See, and I thought I would want kids, and that changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that as you get older, your perspective changes. But I feel like they're at their age, they're so much older than I was when I was their age.
Same.
Oh,
I think that I was just like,
Absolutely.
what? I'm not thinking about career. I'm not thinking about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They are very goal oriented.
You like it to be more open-ended.
I would say in like the earlier stages, like teenage years and maybe like going into college, like depending on the person, you know, like probably like open-ended because I don't want to just find like one person and be like, okay, this is my person and then not explore like other
Mhm.
people and see what I like. But then definitely when I'm like older, definitely putting like a label on it, you know, if I do find like my person.
I love that. Like you're not
I do.
into like rush in and
Right.
lock in with one
Right.
person.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah,
want to
no, I just
explore.
want to explore like different types of people.
That's
Right.
awesome.
I agree. I love that. What kind of jobs do you guys want? What are you wanting to do when you get older?
I want to be an orthodontist.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That should get me rich.
That should
Yeah.
get her.
Hopefully.
You know what? You have a game plan. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I want to go into like some type of like psychology,
Oh.
like forensic psychology. I'm really interested in.
That's what my niece is going for.
Yes, I'm really interested in stuff like that, and just some field of like helping people.
What
Right.
do you guys do at a sleepover, or if you're just like hanging out together?
Yes,
Get
what do you
food.
do?
Definitely get food.
Get food. Okay.
We
That's probably our number one
yeah,
thing we
definitely
do.
like go out and get food
Get food.
somewhere, and then
We usually go to like a view, like the
yeah,
Rose Walk, but
we usually like
Rachel
sit
Rock,
somewhere like in the car
somewhere
and eat.
pretty.
Okay.
But then we usually just go
We
back.
watch movies and
We watch movies and like
like
shows and stuff like that a lot.
Did you say draw?
Yeah, sometimes we
Sometimes.
like watch
Okay.
movies and just sit in my bed and draw.
Oh.
Fun.
Like colors,
cool.
like with coloring books.
I'll go in there and
Yeah.
there'll be like 50 million colored pencils like all over
Really?
there. And you're
Okay.
just coloring.
That's
awesome.
It's like
fun.
therapeutic, just to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like when it's kind of similar than what we did we did like braids. Remember those wrap braids?
Yeah.
Every time they would come to my house, we would always do those wrap braids on each other.
Yeah.
And then we just talk about boys and
Yeah.
watch movies and cook.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I feel like
Yes.
we talk about a lot of like advice and stuff when we're together.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Like-
we don't hang out a whole lot. Like we usually try and hang out like once or twice a week. We see each
But-
other at work,
You guys seem
Mhm.
right? But it's kind of like we kind of fill each other in when we're together and try and give each other advice on situations we've been going through and stuff like that.
They have a lot of deep conversations.
We
That's
do.
awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been friends? I know it's been a long time.
8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
Isn't
I've
it
got
going
like-
on 9?
It's going on 9 years, yeah.
And you're 16 now, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Me
your
too.
friendship.
Me too.
What are your hobbies or interests?
Sleep.
Sleep, food.
Yeah.
Sounds like the same hobbies I have.
And they both work super hard, and like neither of them like have to work as hard as they do or as many hours. But
Mhm.
I think you like working and you like being independent
Yeah, I
and
love
making your own
making
money. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, especially at the job where we're servers. Like, you can just pick up a shift and like make $200, like if you
Nice.
want.
Yeah.
And they both go to the early college, which means they'll graduate next year, the year after, with their associate's degree
Oh.
already.
Wow.
And then they'll go to a 4-year school as juniors. So school is
That's amazing.
School's a big
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
work. We kind of put
I think
a lot
that's
of
one of
work.
our dreams is like we're building from school to
Yeah.
make our dreams happen.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you've got to
awesome.
start
That's awesome.
early. If you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's wonderful.
They are nappers though.
We
Oh
nip
yeah,
it a
I
lot.
could take a fat nap
Right now.
Yeah.
And just
But it
do
has to
all
be
over
like
again.
perfect. Like I have to be in really comfy clothes,
Cold
a cold room,
Mhm.
like pitch black with my sleep music on.
Oh,
So
okay.
I do like a sound machine thing.
It's so
Okay.
good.
Oh, really?
We have the
That's
same
nice.
one actually.
Okay.
Nice.
What kind of mischief do you get into?
They don't want to tell. Mom, earmuffs.
I feel like we don't like
We don't like party.
no, we don't
really do
party or we
No?
don't like drink and smoke. Like we're not like that tight.
I feel like we.
It's kind of just like stupid stuff.
Tell
Yeah.
about the time you fell off the roof.
What?
You jumped.
So I'll let you tell it from until I jumped off the roof.
So we wanted to get up on the roof. You know, it was like a pretty night. We just wanted to get
No
up
one was
there.
home.
No one was home. And so as we were getting up there, the ladder fell
Well, I put
behind
the
us.
ladder on top of a table.
Yeah, that's-
to begin with.
On our second story deck.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was in 8th grade, by the way. We
Wait,
were
the
like
ladder
14.
was on the second story deck?
On the table on the second story
Yeah.
deck.
Oh
Yes.
my
Wow.
God.
Second story.
We didn't
table
find out
ladder.
till like 2 years later. That it happened.
But we got up there and the ladder fell, and I was like, I'm stuck up here. Like, I'm not jumping. And so Kaylee jumped into our grass.
Into a bush.
It was
a
a tree. I jumped into a
Wait.
tree, swung down like a Tarzan, swung down onto the ground,
Yeah.
blacked out for a minute,
What?
then went and put the ladder back up.
Yeah, and then I got down. I was pretty
Okay.
safe.
So, okay, what was the goal? Like, why were you getting on the roof?
For funsies.
Just to like have a little adrenaline rush.
Yeah, just a little bit of.
Let's see what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Yeah.
break legs and stuff.
And we had done it before.
We did it before and it was fine.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
ladder
really?
fell this time.
But it was because it was raining.
It was raining.
Oh, that's even
Oh.
better.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got into a lot of trouble
Yeah,
as a teenager.
yeah. I was
Sorry,
doing-
Mom, Dad. Yeah, I was awful.
I mean, my parents would probably have loved for me just be climbing on the roof.
yeah, true. Do you feel like you got it out of your system? The silly
Yeah,
stuff.
and I mean, there's still stuff like, obviously not like super bad stuff, but still stuff I kind of like to try and like experience and stuff like that. But I'm not like, I don't like crave it like most
Yeah.
teenagers do and like
Mhm.
always go for it.
Mm.
You know,
Does it feel weird to be talking about this stuff in front of your mom?
A little bit.
we're so close to you. Like
Yeah.
We pretty much tell you everything at least a year or 2 years later.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so then
yeah.
she can't be mad at
Yeah,
us.
so then she
Oh.
I did the same thing with my parents.
Yeah.
I told them years later.
Yeah. I told my parents like 20 years later.
Yeah.
At
Like,
least.
Yeah.
there's
At
still
least.
stuff we're waiting to tell you.
I'm
until-
sure.
I know.
can't wait to tell you this. That's where my brain went. I'm like, what are they doing these days?
I know.
Yeah, right.
We could make another podcast in the future.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like talking about how my daughter's also Gen Z, and I
Yeah.
just think that our relationship is so different than my mom
Mhm.
with me versus me and my daughter. We were so close. She's calling me every single day, a few times a day. She
Yeah.
can't get me. What are you doing that you can't answer your phone?
Yes.
You know,
Right.
there were some hiccups around 17 was a situation for us, but
Mhm.
other than that, like I feel like it's way different.
I think like I'm very close with my mom, but it's different. I think tell me if I'm wrong, but like I feel like in our relationship, it's just pretty open, and you know that I may not agree with everything that you say or do, but that like you can tell me, and I will allow you to make your own mistakes and,
Mhm.
Right.
experience your
Mhm.
own life. And I know like with my parents, it was just different. Like I felt like I had a standard
Yeah.
that I needed to, and maybe you feel like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't. And also, like, I feel like punishment is very different nowadays. Because it's like, for you at least, like, whenever I've made like a first mistake, you don't punish me on the first mistake.
Right.
You say like, if it happens again,
Mm-hmm.
then there's gonna be like it's gonna be different. But the first
Yeah.
thing, it's always like, you know, like you learn from this, and it's
Mhm.
it's if you do it again, not the first
Right.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that because I think I was the same with my daughter. My daughter's 25. She's still a Gen Z. But with her, I was very much like, if you do this again, this is what you're going to do. But and sticking with what I said I was going to make her do was really hard, but I did it.
I was
So-
grounded for like probably all of like 8th grade and 9th grade. Like I was constantly grounded. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't go out with my friends. I was like in my room, and obviously that didn't teach me anything because I kept doing it. You know, I kept making those mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like our parents were way more strict on us, and I did want Alyssa to experience, like you were talking about, experience life and not, you know, just be getting in trouble every other day. But she was in trouble a lot.
I feel like it's also different when you're experiencing life, like and not like if you go hang out with guys, it's not hurting your future.
Right.
Like skipping school could hurt your future.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Or
Stuff
doing
like that.
like hardcore drugs and things like
Stuff
that.
like that, yeah.
But doing like just experiencing things, like doing it once
To a
or
certain
something.
extent is
Right.
Right.
I think it's healthy
Yeah, I
for
think
a
it's
teenager.
different.
I agree. You have to experience life.
I think like safety is a big thing
Safety.
too. Like I did dumb stuff that looking back on it as an adult, I'm like that was so risky. Like I am so lucky that like that didn't go in a really terrible direction.
Right.
And I think like you guys have more knowledge. Like Tanya was
Yeah.
saying, like they're like older 16-year-olds than we were. And I think part of that might be because like of the internet. Like you guys hear about
We
more,
kinda
you learn
have
about
to be
more.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you're more aware
Yeah.
of like risks and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being safe, how to be safe and everything.
Right.
And also like nowadays, like I feel like when you guys were growing up, it wasn't as like, oh, you go out by yourself, you're gonna get kidnapped, you know?
Like
It
now you
wasn't
always
so-
have pepper spray.
Now you
It wasn't
always
as
have
ingrained.
to, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's like you always have like this, like in school, like in elementary school, we were like we were told all the time like about self-defense and you know, and that's just how we've always grown up is like to be cautious and be aware and kind of be paranoid everywhere you go.
What do you guys think about us Gen Xers? I mean, we did kind of talk about a little bit, you know, the discipline is different and stuff like
Right.
that versus like what your grandparents, the way they disciplined us versus the way that we would discipline, you know, our children, your generation. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about us other than that? Tell us.
I think I think in a lot of like for a lot, not like everyone, not everyone has like these type of parents, but it's a lot more open, like you said, like a lot more open relationships and stuff. But then there's also like I have a lot of friends that have parents that are like so strict that like they create sneaky kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Because strict parents create sneaky kids.
Agreed.
Because they're gonna do the stuff either way, and
Yeah.
if you're not allowing it, they're gonna do it behind your back.
Exactly.
And so I feel like for at least my relationship with like my mom and stuff, it's very like it's very open, and you know she wants me to be able to experience things, you know, but like under her watch and like being safe, you know, not doing it behind her back. I feel like it's just it's different for like every type of like parent, but for what I've experienced, it's
So what do you guys think about, you know, me and Jamie started this because she's a therapist and I'm a psychic. So, and I know your mom also is a
Yes.
therapist. Okay. And so what do you think about therapists?
I mean, I've been in therapy for 3 years, and I have seen like it has totally affected my life. Like even when I wouldn't think like you know going to one therapy session was like oh like you know I got to bring out some stuff, I feel a little better. But then like over the years I've just seen how much like growth I've had through it, and I mean I think like you guys are superheroes kind of because you guys have a different type of like helping people.
Yeah.
I wish everyone could like experience because I think every single person needs therapy at some point in their life.
Agreed.
And I wish that it was more available to everyone because I feel like it'd make the world a little bit of a better place.
I agree.
But it's not, so
Because mental health and how people are mentally affect what they do and their
Right.
actions, and it can even affect like their physical health, like their bodies and stuff, like just kind of letting themselves go and stuff like that. And I feel like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I agree. So what do you guys think about psychic mediums?
I
don't
watch
know
this
a lot
guy
about
on TikTok all the time. Have you seen him? He's an Uber driver, and like when
Yes.
people get in the car, he like tells them
Yeah.
about their dead people.
Yeah, he's not an
Oh,
actual
really?
Uber driver, but yeah, I
Yeah,
know who you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
because they get in the car with him, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, but I don't understand.
You
it.
don't understand.
yeah,
Mm.
I definitely think it's interesting. I just don't know a lot about it.
Because
Yeah.
I've never like talked to someone that like
Uh-huh.
is one.
Yeah. So, like, basically, there's spirit's with you all the time, and we can read energy. So
Do
we
you go to
can.
school for it?
No.
Is it just like a?
I was born with it. I started seeing.
Oh.
I started seeing dead people when I was very young. It was like, but you didn't think of it as. I just thought that everybody could see what I was seeing, so it
Right.
wasn't, to me until I got older, and then I realized, okay, like everyone's not seeing
It's a gift.
this, and then I was scared of it, and now I'm okay with it. So it's been a transition throughout the years, but yeah.
When you
Can you, and I know this is kind of going off topic, but can you tell our listeners like what happened when you first got here today?
Yeah, when I first
Little
got
bit
here, we were talking over there, and then all of a sudden, I get high vibrations, like, and a lot of people do, like, you get a high vibration, and something is either coming in, and warning, or it's, usually if it's low vibration, it's warning about high vibration, usually means that, somebody is here with us for this, and I felt like, and I was getting very emotional, you're getting emotional, I can feel, like, in my throat right now, so, it's Willow, and she's here. I'm getting chill bumps all over me, and she's so excited that everyone's here. And she remembers Katie. She remembers you, and she's excited that you guys are here. So it's really cool because it was like and Willow already knows that I can see her and feel her and stuff. It's like really cool. Like I didn't have this experience, and like when I was talking about it earlier, like I felt like really choked up about it, and I knew that you were. Getting a little choked up about it, yeah, because I can like feel other people's energies and stuff like that too. So if somebody, is feeling some kind of way, I'll either start feeling that way or it immediately, even if you don't look like you're about to cry, I know you're about to cry. Because I feel like that, that throat you get thing in your throat, So and it's wild, and it was happening. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so excited that everyone's here, and she's like smiling. She's like,
That's awesome.
like looking at us, like wagging her tail. She's excited. So animals come through. They're all around us, and people come through. And so it's. I like it now. Like before, it was really scary, but now when I feel like I can help someone or give them a message and make them feel better about a situation, I like it. Do you feel like teenagers have made progress through generations as far as like body image and stuff like that? Because we were talking about that.
Like self-confidence.
I think it's definitely changed over the years because like the way my mom talks about herself versus the way teenagers do now, I feel like is completely different. Because I feel like now it's like all bodies are bikini bodies, and then it was like if you're not skinny with a big butt, maybe I don't know.
I feel like a lot of like self-confidence has brought out through our generation because of social media. Like there's always somebody you can compare yourself to.
Yeah.
There's always someone that is gonna have a similar body to you that is well known, that's famous, that and like there's so much of that I feel like with you guys, like growing up and stuff, you didn't see all those types of bodies. Like you saw the super skinny Victoria's Secret models.
But do you think like being able to compare yourself to others, like is that a blessing and a curse?
I feel like
For
it can
sure,
be a blessing in disguise, but
Yeah.
also a curse.
Right. So I mean, there's definitely those people that you see that like have a similar body to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not alone. I don't have like this weird body or something. But then there's also people that like you compare yourself to in like a bad way. Like like they do have a better body than me in some ways and stuff like that. There's a lot that social media can be like a blessing and a curse. like you said.
I know that they are like my biggest hype girls. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Like because I like struggle still, growing up thinking you needed to be skinny pretty much, and like, and I know not everyone. I know that not all of us in this generation feel that way, but I was definitely raised to feel like I needed to have a certain body type, and they like. It's not their job. That's one of the things I want to stress is it's not your job to like hype me up, but they do just because they are so body like positive and it's helpful. And I have found that I have to really guard what I say about myself. I haven't been very good about that, like guarding, like putting myself down or whatever. And that's something I'm aware of more so now than I used to be. because that's where I got a lot of my messages, is from hearing my mom put herself down. And so I thought, oh, well, if she doesn't like that about her, then I probably shouldn't like this about me, and whatever. So I've definitely failed a lot in that area, but I'm getting better. And Allie and Kaylee both are just like super strong, and like they're amazing. I'm very lucky.
Can I ask you to reframe what you just said? You said I failed in that area. Can we reframe that, please?
No,
This
yeah.
is the therapist talking.
I know, and I'm a therapist and I do it all the time.
I have not done my best, and I'm continuing to work on it, and I'm getting better.
And see, like, what I
Thank you.
always try and tell her, like, you're allowed to make mistakes. Like, it's your first time living, too. Just because you've lived, like, longer than me and had more, like, experiences, it's still your first time living. Just
Right.
like me.
Makes me want to cry. She does. She'll say, "Mom, this is your first time too. This
Yeah.
is your first time doing this." And
Yeah.
And like every day is like a new day that you haven't experienced, you know, so it's like you can still work on more and more things and positivity to make yourself
I feel like I'm gonna call them and be like, hey,
I know.
can you tell me that I'm pretty?
And like, 'cause
serious.
Tanya and I were talking just the other day about
Right.
how both of us, like, for a couple years, we wouldn't wear shorts because we didn't like our legs. And
have you ever seen me in shorts? Ever?
And it was as adults, yeah.
no.
Really?
Yeah,
You don't wear
never.
shorts? I'll wear shorts now. I don't even care.
And
Now
I
I'm just
should,
like, whatever.
and I
Yeah.
should, but now I do.
That's,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing about our generation is like there's someone out there that's gonna love you.
Right.
Fat, skinny, tall,
Yeah.
short.
And also, like,
I know.
I know.
I know.
Like, I would rather be a Gen Z.
Me
than a
too.
Gen X right
Me
now.
too.
Yeah.
and with so many people, like, you just have to put on the mindset, like, even if you do, like, if you're in your small town or something and you wear something that's a little out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
you're like,
So
no one's
what?
ever gonna remember this outfit tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Yes, you're
like-
exactly right.
Yesterday when we got dressed, we were wearing leggings and a crop top, and we were like, our hip dips, you know, blah 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 blah.
Hip dip.
blah. Right?
What's the hip? What do you mean?
What is a hip dip?
Like a hip dip, like where your hips are, and
I
then
got
like
hips
dip goes
down.
by your thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I call this saddlebags.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were
Go
talking
ahead.
about it, and I was like, who is actually going to look at you and be like, wow, look at those hip dips?
Yeah. And if they do, then it says more about them and they
Right,
have
like,
issues
like,
than it does about you and your body.
Like, let me
Agreed.
remember this girl has hip dips.
Yes.
Like, who's doing that? Because I'm not. Are you?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't
like,
ever remember like someone, like a stranger in public. I never remember
No.
like their. I don't remember their body.
like on the
I'm
beach.
Right.
I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like
not.
the beach is
But
like
you
a
remember
very-
people's personalities.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like
Yes.
if someone comes up to me and is super nice, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
remember
remember
that
them.
over like.
But I
what they
probably
look
won't
like.
know what they're wearing.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna remember that.
But it's like also like on the beach and stuff. I feel like I don't even remember. I don't remember anyone from the
No.
beach.
I don't remember
No.
anyone I've ever like laid eyes on.
Me neither.
I love their outlook because we didn't think that way.
No.
We weren't thinking that.
Absolutely
We
not.
stopped when we went somewhere. Everybody's looking at us like,
Yeah.
really, you're not that special. Calm down. You know, like
yeah.
it's not that's
Exactly.
not real
You're
life.
not that
You know,
special.
like
Yeah.
No, it's true.
yeah.
Totally. Okay, so some fun questions.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your celebrity crush right now?
Probably.
Who?
I would say Ryan Gosling.
Ooh.
Oh, I do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to watch him in
Yes.
the new movie though, The Fall Guy. Like, in the movie, he like came out of the water in like this like white tank top, and he was like had like cuts on
Blood.
his faces. Yes.
Oh.
But it was like sexy.
Oh. Okay.
What about
And
you,
who's your
Bailey?
celebrity
I forgot
crush?
his name.
Dempsey.
What?
Patrick Dempsey.
Okay.
Oh
yes.
my gosh, I had a crush on him
Oh,
because he was
yes.
in Can't Buy Me Love. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love watching that.
Me, I've watched it a million
Oh my
times.
gosh.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Lamar guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was like dorky in that
He was
movie.
so
but he was
dorky.
like, yeah.
But then when he
But-
got on Grey's Anatomy, he was
The
like,
thing about him is
So
he's
handsome.
like DILF.
Oh.
DILF. Like he's not like, oh, this man is like sexy.
He is, but that's
He is,
you just
but
like
he's-
appreciate his beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his
He
like,
was
like
like-
he's like salt and peppery kind of.
Yeah.
he was created by a woman.
Yeah, He was.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
can see that.
yeah, for sure.
I can see
Okay.
that
Nice.
for sure.
Who's your celebrity crush?
I mean, I don't really like. I don't know. Like I'm not really like. I'll see some guy and be like, oh yeah, he's looking real good, but I'm not remembering who it is.
Yeah.
Like,
What about
do
you?
you have one?
Bruno Mars.
Oh.
And I don't find him
really.
very physically attractive, but I love his music so much and just his vibe that yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I went, yeah.
Okay. So, has anybody watched the show Married to Real Estate?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's just a show. It's like this couple, and it's kind of like a fixer-upper type show. And so she's a real estate agent and a designer, and then he's the contractor. And his name is Mike. I can't remember their last name. It's Mike in Egypt, I believe is her name.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And Mike is so cute, and like his like personality, he's so like silly and like laid back, and like they have kids, and he's like such a good dad,
Yes,
and so
yes,
yeah,
yes,
he's my celebrity
yes.
crush. I should probably learn his last name.
You know what?
Crush, but
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
Cause he's
yeah.
so funny.
He's
So
goofy.
I just
Yeah.
love
Yes.
like he's so funny,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's
I would
definitely
say he
one
would
that
be
I'm
my
like.
actor one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think he came out like in the like when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, he's in
Van
90s,
Wilder
I think so.
was the first one I noticed him in, and I was like, oh, yeah, and he's just really. He's
I love
aged
his
well.
personality.
Yeah.
as well.
I love funny. Like you make me
Yes.
laugh, I will fall in love with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, humor's important.
Steve, is it Steve Carell or Carol?
Oh, correct.
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Like,
ya?
Yes. Do you not?
No, he kind of gets on my nerves.
Does he?
Yeah.
I hear
don't know
people like
why.
that,
That's
but
what
no,
she
he
said.
does not. I love him.
So what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh yeah.
Probably something from Pitch Perfect, like the first Pitch Perfect, like the riff offs or Since You've Been Gone. Those are like
Okay.
those are my
Yeah,
go-to.
yeah.
I would say mine is Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars.
Oh, that's
okay.
a good one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tanya and I did karaoke one time to Shoot.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and
Yeah.
Pepper.
And Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby would
yeah.
definitely be.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
We need
What's
to
yours?
do that next time. I would say something like I would want to do something fun like that because that gets everybody. But like I love to sing like Stevie Nicks, like
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like Stevie
Yeah.
Nicks, yeah.
Gypsy and Landslide and
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
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 like I like to sing those songs when I'm just by myself.
Okay. By yourself.
We say karaoke in the car karaoke.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that.
This was super fun. Do you guys have any questions for us?
How do you guys view our
I was just
generation?
thinking about
Because
that.
a lot of people like
think we're like delinquents who
and think
run
we're
around.
delusional and think we're not smart and like things like
Yeah.
that.
That makes me sad.
I don't think that you're not smart. I think you're very, especially after having this conversation with you guys today. I'm
Yeah.
very like, my eyes are open. My daughter is different. She is a Gen Z, but she's 25 years old. She's
Right.
married, and she's about to have her third child. I mean, but most of her generation is not like that. Most of her
Exactly.
generation they do not want children. But I just feel like she's an old soul. My child is
Yeah.
like she's way older than I am. You know.
Yeah,
But,
I think a lot of their generation is like very career driven.
Yeah.
like, what they were
They
saying,
are.
like, academic driven.
Right. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
I don't think that you guys. I think that the difference between us is we work like we'll literally start from the bottom and work our way up and like work hard to get where. And you guys are like, nah, I'm gonna make millions right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it's way different.
I love your
Yeah.
guys' confidence
Mhm.
and also like your emotional intelligence, like ability to like recognize how you feel and communicate about how you
Mhm.
feel.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I didn't learn how to do that until gosh, like last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
like
said the
at
other
least like
day.
well into my 20s, I would
Yeah.
say.
I would say close like 28 probably.
Yeah.
Between 20 and 30, kind of like
Yeah.
eye opening, like okay, like.
And I think like you guys are so emotionally intelligent, and I just
I know.
like I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I am too.
I think for me, like the difference that I see so many differences, but like I am so stuck in my head a lot. And some of that comes from just my own experiences. But like I see them like able to get past like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they live, they're not stuck in
Their ego.
exactly.
And a lot more like open-minded.
Yeah, and I know everyone talks about like how everybody's offended these days and stuff like that, and there are things to be offended about for sure, but they don't live like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of
You know
like,
what?
do you? I'm gonna
Yeah.
do me.
Yeah.
Generation, this is the one problem about our generation. We think everything's a joke. I feel like we think everything's a joke.
Yeah.
But some of that is kind of good.
I feel like it's
because
good,
Yeah.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's kind of like scary for the
Right.
future.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of like specifically like baby boomers, like our grandparents and stuff, they're still right. That's our
Yeah.
grandparents, right?
They're like stuck.
They're still like in very traditional ways. And because they were grown up in such a different times where cell phones were here before like anything like that. Like a lot of them are still stuck in like a traditional way of thinking.
Yeah.
Like
I
I'm
think it
like-
might be most difficult for our generation because
You're in between.
we're
right
in
in
between.
between.
It's like
Yes.
we're conflicted.
Yeah.
It's like you guys
Yes.
you didn't grow up with this, but like you're still young. You're in your 40s and 50s. Like that's not
Yeah.
old,
Yeah.
and you're still like you're experiencing this
Right.
now.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
really
Like
hard.
we've grown up with it.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
like
Like
I
Nana and Papa are like, I don't understand, but like whatever.
Yeah.
And we're like, I need to understand because I
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
able to
Because like you
connect.
work and you have to do these
Mm-hmm.
Apple Pay.
And there's a
Apple
term.
People do not understand that.
I
I
finally
don't understand
figured it
Apple
out.
Pay. Oh, Apple
Like,
Pay.
You can like send someone
Yeah.
money over text messages, and people just like don't
Yeah.
grasp it. And
Yeah.
It's like I feel
Oh.
bad, but like
Yeah.
you have to know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I opened a new account a few years ago, Wells Fargo, and the guy was telling me like I can deposit money over my phone, obviously like a check, and I'm like, so I can like take a pic. I said, can I deposit cash?
I'm just gonna take pictures of
No, you can't do that. And I'm like, you're right. I don't know why I asked that. Like,
Oh my god, that's awesome.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
and there's terms. I don't know if you guys have heard of these, but it's internet natives. You guys like
yeah.
it's like your native language.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
grew up with the internet, and then internet immigrants, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're like immigrating into
Mhm.
absolutely.
That era.
Well, I think-
Absolutely.
And with that, okay, this is how you know it's bad. Can you look up at the ceiling and type a full message on your phone? Because I can. I can type a full
I can.
like
Yeah.
I could have with
With
my
like
last phone.
I mean-
can't with my new phone.
I mean,
Yeah.
Can you have a flip phone and type a text
No.
message?
Oh.
Okay, if we can do that looking at the ceiling.
See, I think that's the difference
Yeah.
with those.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like very generationally different.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just growing up with different
But
things.
one thing my kids have said, my boys and Allie, is when they hear about like the late 70s, 80s, early 90s, like when I grew up, they say, I kind of wish it was like
Yeah.
that now. Like there's something wholesome and simple about it. And I
No
agree.
phones.
Yeah.
100%
Phones
agree.
and social media have made
Totally.
it crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely pros and cons.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Should do no cell phone Sundays. Could you guys do that?
Oh.
Oh, I can do that.
I do.
Yeah.
You can do no cell phone Sundays
Yeah,
sometimes.
I
Just
do.
like
good.
I don't
leave
really
my
like
phone
being
at
on my
home.
Yeah.
But my mom's. I have to text her all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't really like.
I
I
don't.
don't like being on my phone. Like I don't
I
really.
mean, like if I'm bored, like obviously I'm gonna go on my phone and like go on social media. or
Like when I'm
something,
getting
but-
ready and stuff, I just like having like me time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
read
Good
it all the
self-care.
time.
Mhm.
Good
Self-care.
self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah. Yeah, so-
next week we're going to be talking about self-care.
Yeah.
What that
Next
looks like,
episode.
what you do for self-care, and Tanya and I will be taking some self-care surveys to see how we do and
Oh, we're doing surveys.
areas
Okay.
where we can improve.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So yeah, I want to thank you guys for being on our
Yes,
show
thank you
today.
so much.
It's been so fun. I've learned so much. I feel like every time we do a show, I'm like learning more and more.
Yeah.
So like, please come and see us next week for our self-care. It'll be me and Jamie. And don't forget to subscribe and like us
Yeah.
and let us know what you want us to talk about. See you next time.
Bye.